And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the ESL Open Cup Asia number 230. We just wrapped up with the lower semifinals with Showtime versus Coffee, and we have our first finalist ready and waiting. Coffee pulled off an insane upset, and he is waiting in the finals for the winner of this series, for the winner of the upper semifinals. And sporting in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Chinese Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Offside Esports. It is Firefly. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Vitality. It is Solar. Here we go. And if you are in the chat, predictions will soon be open, so you can place your bets on who you believe is going to advance onto the grand finals. Again, Solar, our Zerg player here, is the favorite player. 100% he's the favorite player, but we've already had one upset, and we have seen Firefly take down these top tier Zerg players in the past. He has it in him to pull this off. We've seen Firefly bring down players like Raynor. We've seen him take it to Serral. Can he take down Solar? It's possible. It's possible. I want to believe. Again, if you're in the chat, good luck. Best of luck with your predictions. Predictions open. Place your bets, buddy. Place your bets. As we are settling in, it's going to be a Hatchet Gas full standard opener by Solar, going for the unnatural natural, as Firefly did disrupt the opener of our Zerg player. Did end up disrupting the opener. So now our openers are just looking standard. Likewise, Firefly going for a gain expand into Cybercore. Everything looking as it should. Solar. Just letting the people know. Beautiful. But yeah, now we're going to be settling into our game. Going to be joining up, getting into our 3-base setup here from the side of Solar. From the side of Firefly, I'm curious how he embraces this. Now, Firefly usually thrives in the mid-game. Usually does thrive quite heavily in the mid-game with very aggressive styles, going into Blink Stalker, going into double rover production as well. For now, it's going to be a Stargate opener into Oracle. We could go into Void Rays. It's a little bit out of fashion. It's a little bit out of meta to get into Void Ray first, but not unheard of. Based on the rally, though, it should be the Oracle from Firefly. Should be moving out. As for now, Solar is getting ready. Joining up his bases. Adept does shade in between. It's going to be on Solar to keep up with the Adepts and to keep up with the Oracles. So far, we are able to. Zoning that Adept away. And the second Adept has arrived. Now, again, 2 Adepts do one-shot drones, so this is a stronger or greater threat to the mineral lines of Solar. You have to be careful. Oh, first Adept takes some extra hits, making its way towards the mineral line. Solar does react in time, does pull away. Oh, does barely pull away, but one drone goes down. And we shave off a couple of wings. Not too bad. Firefly diving in once again, maybe overextending though. Yeah, there's no shade. We overextend and both Adepts fall. Things started off not too bad. Things weren't too bad at getting one drone and a couple of lings, but we overcommitted. The Adepts, they fall. We're going across the map and looking to deny the third. Massive counterattack. The Oracle was able to keep up. Firefly does force back the lings, but we waste energy here defending instead of aggressing on the mineral lines, instead of going for some drone harassment. So this is a big win for Solar. Very nice start for him. Diving on the base. Not quite forcing the cancel, but once again, the second Oracle arrives. We confirm it's still stuck at home. Just really nice aggression here from Solar. Does focus on the probe. Up, just barely. Gets the probe, slips into the main. The wall is not a wall. We bust into the mineral line. We get a second probe. 2 probes go down, and can we get a third? Oh, we can. We have 3 workers in total, almost on board. Almost. But with that, Solar, he forces back the army. He's freely droning. We have a Spore at the natural. We have a Spore at the third. We have a Spore in the main. Solar not cutting any corners here, being as safe as possible with a Spore at every single base. Queens are amassing, and Solar is looking comfortable. Now we have our follow-up. Back at home as The Oracles are moving out. We have Firefly going for his third Oracle, working towards a Forge and a Twilight Council. This should be for +1 and Blink, but we have seen a rise in popularity in +1 and Charge. So we'll see. We shall see. As the Adept Oracle heads into the natural base. Oh, taking some extra hits. Lings, they collapse on the Adepts, and they do focus 2 of them down. Once again, Firefly being a little bit too overeager, bleeding out and throwing away those Adepts. They do fall, and immediately Solar, he can threaten another counterattack. And he keeps the Oracles busy. These Oracles, they have done 0 economic damage. I mean, they force spores, I guess, but they haven't done much more than that. Haven't done much more than that, as we're just keeping the Oracles busy back at home. Lair is on the way, double gases as well. We do have the Roach Warren, so it's going to be Lingbane, Roach Ravager, and I spoke about this earlier. I spoke about this in the previous series, about how 3-base all-ins are very common. They're very popular here on Oceanborn from the side of Zerg players, but we have a 4th hatchery on the way. We're taking our gases, we're droning up. I was about to say that Solar could go for a 3-base all-in and go for a 66 drone timing, but we are droning up even further, and we're taking as well. We're going for a longer game. Infestation bit here for Solar, ready for Hive Tech. We're getting ready for that Hive Tech. Solar just looking further into this game. Firefly, meanwhile, getting a 4th. Should be able to get it up and running. Again, Solar is focusing on droning and expanding and teching. Still has Lings active, but Firefly should be able to hold on. As we had the safety Roach Warren, but now we have the Hydra Den on the way with the arrival of this infestation bit. This should be for a Hive for Lurker Tech for a Hydra Lurker Viper. So Solar just taking up and getting ready for his end game for his Lurkers. The Lunkers, Papi, they're coming. Alright, going to be coming. Speaking of, yep, there it is. There's the Hive, there's the Lurker Den, as we did mention. Again, Solar just feeling comfortable enough to take up in this direction, and Firefly has no real signs of aggression here. He's applying pressure with these Stalkers, but only a light amount of pressure. Firefly is not committed, so Solar doesn't have to overreact. As Solar has joined up to 76, he can join up to 80. Stalkers are clearing up some creep. But Solar does keep up, respreading those tumors. Does force a Firefly back. Link still being active, they hit the 4th. Going for the pylon. Won't quite get it. Scout into the main base, does confirm the gateway explosion, does confirm that we are on, I think, 1 bay. Sorry, 1 rover, yeah. We're only on the 1 rover, no bay, so no Colossus. It's a massive gateway style, a gateway composition. We dive on top of the Stalkers. A big catch here from Solar. 3 full Stalkers going down. Lings, they get caught by the stasis. But a nice catch here from Solar. Now, Solar doesn't really intend on pushing. Remember, the Lurkers. We're taking up into Lurker Tech. We have upgrades on the way. Hive is done. Working towards Lurker upgrades. There it is. Do have a seismic spines on the way. I almost forgot it for a moment. I was like, adapted talents? No, the other one. Seismic spines, Lurker range. Adrenal as well. Pull those cracklings. And Solar's just looking so comfortable. Now, Firefly himself has also droned up and probed up to 82. That is true. We do have a good economy. We have a good worker count. But Firefly, tech-wise, needs time. What I'm referring to is, you can see here, we have 2 Robos on the way and we have a Templar Archives on the way. This is for, I believe, Mass Immortal and Archon. Ooh, as we force a recall. Oh my god, this is not the place to be. Bleeding out more Stalkers. But we're getting ready for like a big tech and a big tech switch and big snowball into Immortal Archon, but we're not there yet. We're still working with Stalkers. And here come the first wave of Lurkers. Solar, bit of mispathing, bleeds out a couple of units. 4 Lurkers in production. And Lurkers are revealed. 1 Lurker gets sniped. A nice catch here from Firefly, but pushing up the ramp. Ooh, almost a full surround. So many Stalkers go down. Not like this. As Solar does escape with that Lurker, and he's gotten so much damage done with this already. So many Stalkers are falling. We get a surround. We get a surround, and how many Stalkers was that? 22. 22 Stalkers falling in total. Now we're going for a big counterattack. Remember, we're making 3 mortals at a time. Stasis Trap is going to be baited out. Storm is not done. High Templar going down again. We're making 3 mortals at a time. This is a massive, like, power spike here for Firefly if he only had more time. We have a lurker in the natural. We're pushing towards the third base at the same time. A big zealot counterattack here across the map. But the zealots will eventually be cleaned up. We have lings, we have hydras. We are cleaning up these zealots, and across the map there's just no answer to the lurkers. Solar just in control of almost the entire game. GG gets called, and Solar takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Again, Solar, for those that maybe weren't here earlier, Solar, he was at DreamHack Dallas, but he went home early. He's already back in Korea. He's angry, he's upset, and he is here to make some money. He's here, you know what? I'm coming back home, and I'm winning ESL Asia this week. I'm taking it, Papi. I'm taking it. Looking very dominant in game 1. Takes a lead in the series, and now the pressure is on Firefly to bounce back, and I believe he can. Again, we've seen Firefly take it to some of these top Zerg players in the past. He has it in him, but he has to play at his best. That's the thing. He needs to bring it out of him. He needs to play at 100% here, and even maybe a bit of luck on his side. And I want to believe that we can force the ace match, but the pressure is now on Solar. 1 game away from making it to the grand finals. Uno más, papi. Uno más. Here we go. It looks like in the chat we're being let know that Cyan is still in the States. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for letting us know. Thank you. I wasn't sure whether he had gone back home or not. Yeah, we're being let know. I mean, I'm assuming that our chatter is a little bit more informed. So, maybe. Regardless, Cyan did fall in the quarterfinals. Now we're getting ready for game number 2. As a reminder, this is a best of 3. We're on match point. Sola needs 1 more win here to advance on to this finals. Firefly needs to fight back here and now to force the ace match, to have a chance at those finals. We'll see if he can. So we are loading in to Ghost River. Oh, interesting. Okay. We are loading into Ghost River as game number 2, one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. Short rush distance by ground, just a very congested map in general. Can lead to some shenanigans, definitely. Can lead to some shenanigans here. Here we go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our Chinese Protoss player. The Red Protoss representing Offside Esports down in this series. Can he fight back? Can he bounce back here and force the ace match? The pressure is on. It is Firefly. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Vitality, leading the series 1-0, 1 game away from making it into the grand finals. It is Solar. And again, Solar, he was looking so in form in that last game. Again, he was able to shut down the Adept harass. He shut down the Oracle harass by counter-attacking, applying so much pressure and just keeping Firefly busy back at home. The Adepts and Oracles, they killed like 1, maybe 2 drones. Like the harassment early on from Firefly left much to be desired. And because that Solar was looking so comfortable, and he opted to just be greedy, take a 4th base, throw down Infestation, but tech up and rush into Hive and rush into Lurkers. There was nothing to really threaten Solar. And even in the mid-game, when Firefly was being active with those Stalkers, he was getting caught out. Time and time again, he was getting surrounded and caught out on Oceanborn. He just couldn't really touch the bases or the economy or anything of Solar until the very end. Well, yes, we had some Zealot counterattacks and Zealot run-bys, but that felt more of like a desperation move more than anything from Firefly. And now we're getting into game 2. We can wipe the slate clean, wipe the slate clean, and get into a fresh game. My eyes are on Firefly. What do you have for us, Papi? What do you have? For now, Gate expand into Cybercore. We do see Solar going for a standard hatch gas pull. Standard opener out of Solar. Nothing crazy yet. Now, I wouldn't put it past Firefly to go for something aggressive like a Twilight Council opener. Pylon has been thrown down a little bit closer to the bases. Usually if it's a Stargate, the pylon is thrown down closer to the edge. But there it is. It is still going to be the Stargate opener. But I'm curious. I mentioned in the beginning of game 1 how Void Ray openers are not unheard of, so I've definitely got my eyes on Firefly, but based on the pattern here, based on, yeah. Oh, never mind. I was going to say based on the rally of the Stargate, it looked like an Oracle, but now we've rallied back to the base, back to the natural. I'm curious, do we embrace the Void Ray or not? We'll find out. Meanwhile, across the map, we are going to be droning up, taking a third base. We have our queens up and running. Lings are on the way as well. So far, nothing too crazy. We pulled out of gas after getting Ling speed, just being as efficient as possible. And there it is. It is Oracle first, not a Void Ray. It's going to be the Oracle here for Firefly. Overlord dives in. It's going to take a little bit longer for the Overlord to scout, but we will get eyes on the Stargate and the first unit of choice. Solar confirms the Oracle opener. Should be feeling pretty confident and pretty comfortable, as it is a standard opener from Firefly. Queen's going to be getting ready. We have 2 queens at the natural. We have 1, soon to be 2 queens in the main. Now, the rush distance by air is a little bit shorter, so Firefly does get here sooner than he would on another map. But so far, Solar is keeping up. Firefly expanding back at home. Lings do move out for a counterattack, but we are in position. No adepts, though. We have actually skipped adept warp-ins, or, yeah, second adept. We only have the 1, which means our third base is more exposed, and, oh, we are forced to throw down the Revelation. Keep an eye on those Lings. And we're going for a very fast Twilight Council. Okay, this looks like Glaives. This looks like a Glaive adept follow-up. We have skipped the third Oracle, and we're going for a Twilight Council instead. We should be seeing additional gateways behind this as well. And this is designed to catch Solar off guard. To catch him with his pants down. We'll see if he can. As there it is. We have the third and fourth gateway. Ooh, going into Blink, not into Glaives. Okay, so this is interesting. Now, with a fast Twilight Council like this, we're going up to 4 gateways. We should be saturating our third, and we're going to be able to be quite assertive early on and apply pressure with our Blink Stalkers. And this usually leads into an 8-gate all-in. What this means is 7 gateways back at home, and then you proxy the 8th gateway here in the center of the map to reinforce, and then you commit. And then you just try to snowball out of control. We'll see if Solar plays things out safely as we're going for a 4th. No Roach Warren for Solar. That is a little bit risky, so no safety Roach Warren. 4th base is spotted. 4th base going to be cancelled. Ooh, we do force a cancel. Nice pick off there by Firefly. Ling's going to be moving out. Shield battery getting up and running. Blink not yet done. Lings, they do collapse on the first Stalker, and they do get one. One Stalker goes down. Ooh, we don't quite get the second. But it looks like Solar is going Lingbane. Okay, we do have the Roach Warren. 5-minute 30 Roach Warren. So this is a bit of a later Roach Warren here from Solar. Now, thankfully, there's no Glaive Adepts. If this was Glaives, then Solar would be in trouble. But it is Blink Stalker instead, which Solar did confirm upon seeing all those Stalkers, and we're going for a bit of a later Roach Warren, cutting some corners, but the Roach Warren will finish in time. Roach Warren will finish. Ooh, charge on the way. These Stalkers are being active, and we are teching. Okay, so instead of going for a 3-base all-in, we're taking gases. We're taking our gases here at the third. We are throwing down a Templar Archives. We're working towards charge. Forge for +1. No big gateway explosion. We do see that Firefly is being active with these Stalkers, but he can't actually get across the map. These Lings have just been far too active here. Yeah, far too aggressive, just keeping Firefly busy. And the army dragged out of position. Solo going for Ling Run-By. We go for a Run-By, but the wall is a wall. We are not Hero. We are Firefly. The wall is solid. One Adept goes down, but Firefly will hold the line, thankfully. And yeah, we're working towards a longer game. Meanwhile, Solar is throwing down gases as well, droning up past 66 and working towards infestation pits. So both players are taking up, but this time it's a little bit different. Firefly hasn't bled out too much. As you can see here, we've lost 1 Stalker and 1 Adept. So far this game, Firefly has been much more efficient than the previous. Has been able to keep up, hasn't been able to apply much pressure, true, but he's holding his own. He's holding his own and is working towards Storm. Now we get 4 more gateways. Now we have our H-gate setup. Templar on the way, Storm as well. Firefly just chilling here back at home, and Solo likewise should be working towards his own lurker tech as well. I say lurker because we have the hive on the way, and yep, there it is. Hydra Den. That's going to be for lurker den. That's going to be for lunkers for Solar. We're getting there. Now, Firefly will hit first. You can see that the Hydra Den is just now starting. Meanwhile, Storm is done. And we're pushing. We're moving out here and now to try to catch Solar off guard. Solar has been droning up. Looking at the unit side, we have 11 roaches. That's not that much. We can maybe break through. It's going to be close. It's going to come down to these storms. It's going to be reinforcing with charge lots. Army rocking up. Ooh, massive storm on the Lings. Not a bad start. Firefly forcing his way through, once again a storm, catching the Lings on top of the roaches as well. We have 2 storms left. 2 storms remaining. Ooh, as we do spend 1. Zoning away the army. Solar getting ready for a surround. And Firefly retreats. He's down to 1 final storm. And he will catch out this flanking army. Not bad. Lings are caught out, roaches as well. Meanwhile, Solar's buying time for Hydra production. Lurker Den is halfway done. And now we have a lot of roaches to work with. Up to 24 roaches. Stasis does catch some of the queens. Does create a force field or a choke point. Not bad. Goes both ways. So have that 1 storm in the chamber, and oh! Ooh, it's used to graze the army. Not the connection we were hoping for. No more storms here for Firefly. Trying to break through. Stalkers, they do collapse on these Lings. Hydras are popping out. Firefly, he does have quite a Stalker lead here. And we're getting on some of the roaches. We're breaking through the first line of defense. And Solar, he's in trouble. He has lurkers on the way. But with the help of the Immortal, we can break through. Take the Immortal back. Take it. Again, we're so close to lurkers. They finish up just in time. And lurkers, they are out. And the Revelation doesn't quite catch all the lurkers. Fleet Beacon on the way, working towards Skytoss. 2 more Stargates as well. Firefly not doing too bad with this push, but he needs more. He's hoping for more. Prism towards the natural. We catch a hatchery. Force to cancel on the 5th. 4 base versus 4 base. Not something you want to see as a Zerg player. So Prism is making its way in. Firefly rotating around. Solar's in position. Does keep up. And we do get a revelation on 1 lurker. We do get a snipe. We have plenty more where that came from. Plenty more lurkers, I mean. As Lings, they catch out the Stalkers. We have to retreat again. Without storms, the Ling Hydra does well. We don't even need the lurkers. So bleeding out far too many Stalkers. Else they come in to reinforce. But the lurkers are pushing in. And what is the answer to the lurkers? Again, no disruptors, no immortals. We have the 1 immortal in the Prism. Firefly needs time. The Prism, no! Oh! As the Prism barely escapes. Barely does get away. But we need time for Carrier. Again, Carrier, it's the Hail Mary play here for Firefly. Trying to slow down the army. And allow them to warp in. Zealots are coming from behind. Lings, they collapse on the army. They go for the Immortal. And the Immortal is going to be locked down, is going to be surrounded. We catch the Immortal, forcing back the Stalkers, making our way towards the 3rd base, but the Carriers have arrived. Oh, the overcharges pop, barely keeping the Carrier alive. I spoke too soon. Oh, the Carrier goes down. The Carrier does fall, and it looks like Solar, he has broken Firefly. Firefly has been broken. Again, that initial Stalker push with the Storm had potential, but didn't quite break through in the end. The Carriers are just too little too late. Solar busting into the natural. The wall is not a wall. Cybercore gets Z-powered, and we're going for the kill. Again, Firefly did have a much better showing this time. Like, game 1 was more one-sided. This was more back and forth. But Solar still looking just a little bit too much to handle. As he's breaking through the 3rd base, into the natural, and now into the main. And we had some storms, and maybe we could try to hold on, but yeah, now we're shutting down the production. Firefly going for a base trade-esque all-in across the map, but we depower the Stargates. And what you see is what you get. 3 carriers and a mothership. We do activate Cloak. Ooh, that will force Solar out. Does force him out of the main. Well, across the map. The Stalkers, they get surrounded. Lurkers have arrived. And Solar cleans up the harassing army. Does clean up the counterattack. Cloak has run out. And Detection can now move out across the map. Solar even throwing down the Spire just in case, just to be ready for that Sky Toss. Now they're going for the 4th base. High Templar have been warped in. But it's just a numbers game at this point. The supply doesn't lie, not here. Lings, they hit the 5th. We're on the 4th. I mean, the carriers are forcing back some of these Hydras at least. But what about the economy? What about the mining? We're down to 17 probes. Barely an economy. And Firefly is down to 5 carriers. 5 carriers, mothership, a couple of High Templar. Technically, Solo could just go for a base trade and go for the elimination and try to focus down all the buildings. But Solar is preparing back at home with 13 Corruptors on the way. The Corruptors, they're coming, Papi, they're coming. They are going to be coming here as... Oh, the High Templar just survived. We break through the Lurkers, making our way into our hatcheries. Bases are falling left and right. I spoke about the elimination earlier, and yeah, the Lings, they're going for the final buildings of Firefly. Big storms being thrown down by the Corruptors. They dive on top of the carriers. GG gets called as we get surrounded, and Solar will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar will take it, will advance on into the grand finals. My condolences to Firefly as he does meet his end here, but he made it to the semis. Very impressive run. And again, I do think the Firefly didn't look too bad in Game 2. In Game 2, he had his own moments. He had a very strong push. Didn't quite break through in the end, but again, definitely had a chance there. Game 1 was, again, more one-sided, but here we had more of a back and forth, and Firefly was able to showcase himself a little bit more in that second game. With that, GG. Well played. We have our grand finals. We have Solar advancing on to face off against Coffee in a best of 5. Let's go. Let's have a look at the run of our players.